Marvin Harrison Jr. joining us along with Cade Stover, JT Tuimoloau. What's it like to look up? I mean, it is right there.
Right in the middle, yep.
Yeah. What's that like for you?
That's special. That's special. I was here when he got inducted into the Ring of Honor, and it's definitely a special moment just as a family.
Yeah. No, it has to be super cool. Guys, last year, I'm fascinated by how you put a season like that in perspective. At a place like Ohio State where the expectations are so high, you didn't win the Big Ten, you didn't beat Michigan, but you made the college football playoff, right, which is only 4 teams in the country that make that. There's so many teams which would give anything to be there. So, JT, put that season into perspective for me.
The season was filled with a lot of change of events, a lot of not knowings, but one thing we did especially after the Team North game, was stay close, stay strong with the brotherhood, and came out and worked for the good, and we got a chance to compete. Didn't end the way we wanted to, but it did let us learn a lot about ourselves and our team, and showed us a lot of what we can do and what we're capable of.
Cade, how would you categorize last year?
It was a good year. Regardless of how it all ended up, nobody wanted that. But to see us come together and go through times like what we did go through, you figure out a lot about who you got with you, and we did. We had a lot of good people with us.
Marvin, what has Coach Day's message been, both about last year and then as you move into this year?
Yeah, I think we just got to focus on the little things and execute better as a team. I think you look at those last 2 games, there's some small plays where we're just inches away from I think our season having a totally different outcome. So I think we just focus on the little things, get back to executing, and I think we'll see a different outcome this year.
Cade and Marvin, I'm really interested in Brian Hartline and his new role as the offensive coordinator. How have you seen him kind of grow into that role, and what does he bring that might be a little bit different?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, you start, Cade. Then Marvin. Yeah.
He's done good. It's a really good mind. He's played the game, so when he says he thinks he has something that works for you, you listen, because he's done it. So he carries a lot of weight with that. I think he's in a really good position to succeed with everybody we got with us. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
Marvin?
Yeah, I think we're still going to be aggressive as we always are with Coach Day. I think just like you said, like Cade said, he just knows. He's played football. He's been in college. He's been in the NFL. So he understands everything and what it takes to be a successful offense.
This is considered, I would say, by many to be the best wide receiver group in the country. I don't know that you get many who would dispute that.
Right.
So it's kind of a 2-pronged question. I guess, first of all, I want to ask you about Coach Hartline and just what it is about him as a recruiter that gets so many high-level guys to sign on.
Yeah.
And then I'm interested in the dynamic in that room. I mean, are you competing with one another? What is that? What's that like?
I think first with Coach Hartline, you relate to him. Like, he's been in our positions before. He's been in that receiver room. He's a receiver himself at Ohio State. And then, he's accomplished the goal that we all dream of, getting to the NFL. So I think we definitely relate to each other over time. And then in that receiver room, man, it's just such a brotherhood there. We all support each other. We're not really selfish or anything like that. If the ball doesn't come your way that game, your head's not down. You're just part of the guy who had a successful game that day. So we all help each other out, though.
Give us a sense for the quarterbacks. Kyle McCord, Devin Brown. You obviously know Kyle going a long way.
Yeah.
All the way to high school.
Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of crazy. But interested, again, for both the offensive players. Tell us about the QBs and their skill sets.
Yeah, I mean, they're competing. I think they kind of both know what's at stake. The job is open, having CJ leave us. But, like I said, they're competing. They're trying to get better each and every day. It's my job to make their job easier. If they can trust me to get open, catch the ball, and be where I'm supposed to be at the right time, then I think either one of them will be successful.
Okay.
I think they're both very, very cut out for the job. I think we're in good hands either way right there. For me, as a tight end, just being a safety valve for them, when things break down quick, just know that they can trust number 8 and the rest of the tight ends in the room. So they're both very, very good players, and we're in good hands.
JC, there was a lot of focus on the defense going into last year, and it really got better. And then you got up in those last couple of games against kind of like talent, right? Really talented team in Michigan, obviously immensely talented team as well in Georgia, and the defense wasn't quite as good as it had been earlier in the year. So what the next step seems to be that when you get to equal talent, can you dominate? How do you get there?
Yeah, I think last year was just a preview of what we can do with Coach Knowles, and those games do show what we need to work on, and that's one thing we didn't just push away. We kind of just accepted with open arms, and me what Coach knows every day, and me as an individual defensive whole, just to come back and come back even stronger, and just correct those little things, because it all comes down to those small little details, and that's one thing we've been working on and honing in.
I don't want to look past any games, but it's always interesting to look through schedules and see games that are going to get a national spotlight. In Week 4, the game at Notre Dame, as you guys are well aware, is going to be a huge game. It's long before any of you were born, since Ohio State has gone to South Bend and played a game there. What do you think when you look at that game and that opportunity to play in a historic stadium against a big-time opponent who obviously you're familiar with? It's
going to be a great game. I know the atmosphere is going to be high. I haven't played there, but I just know that the energy is going to be live. Playing a great group, playing a great team with the Notre Dame, and especially a great matchup we had last year. It's just going to be like another one of those games.
What excites you about that game, Cade?
Everybody's going to show up to that game. That place is going to be rocking. We're going to come in there with high hopes. They're going to be in there with high hopes. We're just really excited to go in there and play a good ball club.
There's been a lot of talk about NIL in college sports, and I want to ask you guys about a couple opportunities. I want to start with you, JT. You had a really interesting NIL opportunity. You hosted a free camp in Columbus this offseason. What did it mean to you to be able to give back to the community in that way and to have that as part of your NIL partnership?
Yeah, give back means everything, especially one of the first camps I went to was the Russell Wilson camp, and for him to host a free camp as well, and now today probably costs a good amount of money to even be able to participate, but just be able to give back and host a little small camp. It was a crazy experience just to have people have my name on their jerseys with next to football camp. So just see the kids smiling, having fun, and as well as looking up to me, and just knowing that they're the role models here in present and taking time out of their day to give back, and it meant a lot.
Hey, Cade, I think back to last year for you, and I don't want to dredge up bad memories, but you got hurt in that college football playoff semifinal, and it felt like at that moment where you left the field, things went downhill for your team, and you'd had such a good game prior to that. When you think back to that moment, what do you think about?
You try not to remember the bad of it, but it's normally what comes to you. Just not being able to be out there with everybody, all those people and your best friends that you've blood and sweat with have just been so crucial to me getting to where I am. It hurt. Hurt leaving everybody, but I feel like everything happens for a reason, and it brought us back together again. So I'm just really happy that I get one more chance to do it with these guys again.
How does it motivate you?
Every day. You never know when your last snap's going to be. So I'm trying not to take anything for granted, any days for granted. Give everything you possibly can, because like I said, you really have no clue when your last one's going to be.
You got a neat story. You grew up on a farm. How has that shaped the person you are? Now, why are you laughing about that?
Yeah, Marv, what are you laughing about? No, that's everything that I know, everything the way I work, the way I act, that I attest to that. The way my parents raised me, my mom, my dad, my sisters, that's everything. I go home every single weekend still to this day in the off season, just to go home, be around the farm, and most importantly be around my family at home. That's what resets me. That's what and reminds you what you're doing this really for.
Yeah. Talking about backgrounds, your background is a fascinating one. We already talked about your dad, Hall of Fame receiver. Did you learn more from watching him or talking to him?
Probably talking to him. I was kind of a little young when he was playing. And then, you can only watch so much on YouTube. So just talking to him and seeing how he approached the game, I think definitely made a difference in my career so far.
Do you sit, though, and watch him? I mean, do you pull up his highlights?
No, I haven't done that in a while. I've been watching myself more.
He pulls up your highlights.
No. We watch each other,
Yeah. Marvin, you had one of the best seasons for an OSU receiver ever last year. So I guess it's almost weird to ask you this, but, how do you improve on it? What do you do differently coming into a year like this to take a step?
Yeah, I think one area of my game I'm trying to focus on is yards after catch. If I can turn a 5-yard gain into a 60-yard touchdown, I think that'll help the team go a long way. But then I think anybody can have 1 or 2 good years, but if you can have 2 good years, be consistent over time, that makes you a great player.
I want to be clear, not everybody can have years like you had last year. In fact, very few people can have years like you did. But, JT, there's been a lot of talk around Ohio State football that it's been a few years since Ohio State had a truly dominant pass rusher. To what extent does that motivate you to become that person?
Motivates me highly. This offseason, I've gotten a chance to speak to Chase Young and just kind of pick his brain and his mindset going into his final season or the season where he broke out at had a breakout season in, and just to tap in and just talk with Coach Jay as well. It just motivates me because knowing what those guys did and me wanting to be like them, it all starts with preparation. And this offseason, I've been trying to be as very detailed as I can and within my craft and my work and being disciplined in the film room, whether it's by myself or Coach Jay. So to apply that and then take step by step now, fall camp's coming up. So kind of excited to just put everything I learned and use it against live people to say.
What did Chase tell you without giving away any trade secrets here?
He was very just big on his mindset. Just, you go into every game just wanting to be, unblockable, unstoppable. Everything that you talked about coming into Ohio State, all the dreams you had ahead of you, why not just do the right thing and hone in and just see where it takes you, see where God takes you. And that's where I've been doing. It's just controlling the things I control, let God just plan out my steps while I just continue to walk his path.
Last question. I'm interested in getting a thought from each one of you on this. How do you describe success? How do you define success for Ohio State this year? What would a successful year be, Marvin?
It starts with beating the team at North. We haven't beat them in the past 2 years. When you come to Ohio State, that's the first goal that we have, as a program. So it starts there, beating the team at North, and then getting to the Big Ten championship, winning that, and then going on and winning the national championship. I think when you come to Ohio State, it's kind of natty or bust. You can't really have a down year. You can't really lose any games at that. So an undefeated season, that's a successful season.
Cade?
Like you said, winning every game, first of all, and then winning that game at the end of the season on the 25th. That means the world to us, and that's why we came here, to win that game. They got the best of us last couple of years, so we wear that honestly. So
yeah, JT,
we're ready to come back.
So I guess just have to summarize what they said, but as well as just adding on, just being the dominant team every game, then being the team of North, Big Ten championship, and winning the national championship, and I think that's our goal, and those have always been our goals.
Guys, really a pleasure to talk to all three of you. JT, Cade, Marvin, have great years.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations on all your success, and look forward to watching the Buckeyes this year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.